What you're going to see today is the worst behavior I personally have ever experienced in any Mythic Plus dungeon. And that should really speak volumes because we have seen some insanely bad things. We start the dungeon. Jix says, right to obelisk. Now he starts, don't do that, LeMayo. Now what you don't see here is he leaves. He just walks out of the dungeon. We're not even in combat yet, but he leaves before the mob gets to 70 to 97%. This is the absolute worst because of the severity of the mistake and the reaction that is simply not commensurate with that mistake. Let's take a look. So an Air Kara 13 farm key, long time now at this point. Not maybe the prototypical pull. I know people are usually a little bit more aggressive in here. I like in the pug world to be a little bit conservative, but you're going to see our first death and really the only thing that we need to discuss right there. We will come back to this. I promise you that. We have a comment on what just happened there. The priest says, "What the fuck did you kite them on me for?" Don't stop here. Don't pause here. We will come back and dissect this on the actual live stream clip, but I just want to show the entire run before I show you that. So we're fighting the first mini boss now. Gonna have our second death here. As you see, the priest up in the top just kind of doesn't fully move out, like moves like a small amount and just stays in the frontal. Die there again. So that's now 2 deaths. We're not even like 2 minutes into the dungeon. Here's another comment from the paladin. He says, "You okay, healer?" The priest says, "No, tank kited ads on me and I died, but yes, it's my fault." Fighting his trash now, which does a good amount of poisons. I believe that paladin dispels that poison. It goes on and off him very instantly, and the healer was not there at that time. We're fighting again, a lot of damage coming out. Paladin again probably dispels the poison himself. I don't know who's dispelling what, but like one way or the other. Priest is like sitting kind of low, struggling to heal through all the regular trash mechanics. On to the second mini boss. People are still a little low, struggling to top them off. We're gonna have our first like AoE phase or whatever this is, Call of the Brood, and it's just going to instantly kill pretty much like 3 people, just have no hope of surviving. I don't know if the pally actually like bubbles and stuff, but he survives no problem. Priest is not going to release. We're going to waste a battle res on the priest. Warrior says, "Pally, help with poisons." Another frontal coming out. This time we move from it adequately. Like it does look like it almost hits him, but I guess it's just like a visual thing. And then here comes another Call of the Brood or whatever, and just in like literally no hope. Like it's like not even close to surviving it. Paladin says, "This healer is low, GG," and leaves. Priest says, "Too busy worrying about me." Shaman's reacting to this, says, "WTF?" Warrior says, "I mean, you are 3K and eating frontals, lol." Priest says, "Only the one time." Warrior says, "It should be 0 times." To give priest side, it says, "It did look like I was out of the frontal." I mean, I don't know. I wasn't in his position, but it didn't look like he was out of it on my screen. Then brings this up again. "Tank kites the ads on me." Like, really, at this point in the live stream, I'm like so confused. I have no idea what this guy's referring to. We get in this protracted argument. You could go see it on the live stream if you want. I want to show you my reaction to us looking into this because I was really confused at this point, and I really have no idea what he was talking about. So we look at it in depth in the actual live stream. That's one of the worst things we've seen all season, yeah, honestly. Somebody getting tilted like that quickly. That's pretty wild. Kind of sad though, if he just takes it on the chin and moves on, you're all probably on your way to the last boss right now. That's what I was trying to say. Like, brother, just shut the hell up. Like, what are you on about? Like, why would you be mad about that? Like, what do you think I did it on purpose? It was clearly either an accident or like something avoidable, one of the two. This would be the only time where you would think it would be called kiting, right? But he doesn't actually die to it. This mob's still alive, actually. That mob didn't even die. Yeah, I think it has to be the second pull because this is where he dies. But I mean, where do I move? I'm literally just standing still, I'm pretty sure. Is this him here? I see the shadow thing. This is him, right? Okay, so let's watch this character. So why do I kite on top of him? You mean like I moved the mob? I moved it like 5 feet. Like it goes like 5 feet. Is that even like 2 yards? I'm not even sure that's a full yard. Where's his actual character when it dies? I swear he moves into them. Yeah, he fucking moves that direction. He's going into it. He's walking into it. What is he doing? Why did you kite them? It's got to be trolling, right? This isn't real. The priest was mind controlled. Look at, he moves. This is his character. Watch. He moves directly. He just walks in direct to the center of it. Like if he's like, well, I guess I'll just die then. Standing still, moves forward, right into it. Literally could. I mean, look at. There's another guy. Here's another guy. This is a melee, almost as far away as the ranged. The melee, I'm also kind of maybe moving towards, right? Guess what? He just fucking backpedals. Literally presses the S key and doesn't die to it. That's how easy that was to not die to that. And then immediately types, "What the fuck did you kite them on me for?" Paladin says, "Are you okay, healer?" He goes, "No. Tank kited ads on me and I died. But yes, my fault." Like, that sarcasm, or are you actually taking credit for that? Like, glad we came back to live. Wow, PTR was fun, but this is I missed it. Right out of the gate, I just want to say this. I do not make this video to just purely bash this guy. Honestly, this is really just a stream clip. Like, if it wasn't for the reviews we also do on this channel, I would just be making a funny clip out of this because it's funny and it happened on the live stream. That's really the heart of this. But this topic cannot be ignored, and it's something that everybody needs to hear, including the person who perpetrated these actions. If you are listening today, I want to tell you that I bear you no ill will, and I do not even fully blame you for what happened here. What we're talking about today is the degree of tilt not being commensurate with the actual mistake that was made. Hopefully now everybody can see that this was not an actual mistake. This was like just a confluence of situations happening that we did not react properly to. There's this weird prevailing notion in this game nowadays where tanks have to like literally hold the hand of the other 4 people. And people even criticize me for refusing to do it because they're saying that if I did hold the hand of the other 4 people, I would have more success. It's fun to do at times, yes, and it is fun to succeed, but I'm not going to sit there and tell you to not move into the center of a mechanic. As the player who did walk into it, hopefully you could identify that honestly, you really didn't do that much wrong either. This was just kind of bad positioning from you out of the gate, partially compounded upon the fact that we are standing where we're standing with these mobs. Maybe you're unfamiliar with that. You know the bridge is behind you. You know there is holes in that bridge you may fall through. I actually initially thought he may have actually fallen through and that's how he died, because it seems absurd to me. Like, the mobs explode when you die. Everybody has to run out of them, including myself. I have been known to soak them occasionally. In fact, that was why I started soaking them. I moved the mob very slightly. The ranged player as the healing priest is about 5 yards away from the mobs, and he manages to just walk into them, probably in a panic. So the conversation around this topic really is about what caused that panic. And I want to talk about that now at greater length because I think this is the most important topic that can come from this discussion. Whether or not, you know, the mistake was made, whether or not like the weird rage afterwards and the freaking out about it, it doesn't really matter to me. What really matters is like the psychological impact that this one mistake had on this person and why that cascade occurred. And again, I think this is an important lesson for every human being watching this video. Every person pugging Mythic Plus needs to understand that if you are bringing this mental baggage into the key, you are a huge detriment. People will say all different things about routes, about meta, about whatever you can think of that is actually gameplay related. That all pales in direct comparison to this situation right here. You can be playing the absolute top spec, you can be switching your talents, you could be maximizing your gear and character to the nth degree, but if you are not mentally ready for Mythic Plus pugging and the potential frustrations and difficulties it might present, you will not succeed. You need to work on that. You need to work on yourself. You need to work on that outside of the game more than anything inside the video game, and this is why pugging Mythic Plus, especially at a high level, is so insanely difficult. You have to deal with the direct created difficult content by Blizzard. It's intentionally hard. It's intentionally meant to push you to the brink. It's intentionally meant to speed you up to the point where you are having to make breakneck decisions that may stress you out, and then you respond with this level of inability to deal with that stress means that we cannot ever succeed. And it's a little ironic here because the actual lever is the Paladin. Now, this guy does not get mentioned at all in the chat. Nobody comments on it, and honestly, not a lot of people probably think about him whatsoever, even though he is the one who ultimately ends the key. I think this is a crucial part of this conversation because he's probably also very tilted and maybe is reacting to something that he has actually seen more than once now in this season. I know a lot of players are getting sick of the shenanigans and they are reacting as such, and you know, I could see that being the case there. Him leaving a little bit early there, I mean, I know it's not going well, but we can still easily upgrade this key at this level. All of it's bad, all around bad, and I think the Paladin kind of gets swept under the rug because of how absurd the overreaction is from the priest. But honestly, it's not that dissimilar. So the takeaway message here is, like was said in the live stream clip, if you can just control your emotions and not type about something that's frankly totally irrelevant, like it has no bearing on the success rate of the key, then we can easily upgrade this key and you can just go about your day. You know what I mean? This is all anybody needs to know, and all anybody needs to work on is just remaining calm in these stressful situations. I don't know what causes this directly, but I'm going to assume that it is some outside the game thing. But I think the lessons I've learned over the many years of playing and pugging in this game is that you need to compartmentalize that. You need to keep that inside your body and not out through your fingertips. Sometimes it'll be very difficult to do that, but if you let it just explode like this is a really minor infraction for this type of explosion to occur, you'll just never be able to succeed. So I hope that this situation is an extreme rarity for this person, but unfortunately I doubt it, because after all the years we have seen of all the pugging and all the really bad examples we've seen over the years, players usually follows up with duplicate stories. So I'm just saying all this now to help you and anybody else who might be watching this and thinking about wherever you feel like you've overreacted or you feel like somebody else did something that marginalized me and now I'm lashing out at them. Think about how detrimental this is. It cannot continue. You cannot treat other people's keys like this. I think that's the most offensive part of this, right? Somebody else put their key up for this situation and you let whatever was going on probably in your real life brought that to Azeroth, the place where we all try to escape from our real life. Like many of us log on trying to forget about those stresses on the outside world. You let a single death, which frankly was just a really silly thing that happened in the dungeon, you let that one death totally derail this key to the point where we could not continue. Probably one of the easiest keys ever on a level that I think a lot of people are farming right now. Like I said, at the heart, it was really just a live stream clip, but I wanted to have a greater discussion on it, and I hope to raise a little bit of awareness around this like kind of emotional insecurity that is going on in the game and is seemingly getting worse season after season. We are all supposed to be on the same team here, okay? So if you think that some member of your team is not pulling their weight or took actions that are directly detrimental to the group, or worse, I guess, to you specifically, you owe it to your other teammates to swallow that for a bit and see what the rest of the dungeon looks like before it comes out. To do it in the middle of the key is always going to end in this result, and I assume most people care about their raw success rate more than I do, so I'm really shocked to see this behavior out of somebody who might be in that boat. Thank you for watching. Unfortunately, I don't know what's going to go on this week now because tomorrow I was planning on streaming on live servers because the PTR was really insufficiently up last week, but the live servers are supposed to have like 6 hours of maintenance for some random reason, who knows. So maybe if the PTR is actually up, I will hop on there. Otherwise, there might not be any stream tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe I'll make another video. I don't know what kind of time I have in the morning. So let me know what you guys think about this. And this is an incredibly important topic. If you are going to continue pugging, you need to be more in control of yourself because this is going to keep happening and it's really, really unfair to people. This is the exact reason why pugging is looked at as such a mess. Thank you for watching. We will see you guys in the next one.